Give me my theme music!
What's up, Buffs Nation, and welcome into Buffs News Weekly Live. I'm your host, Russ Dornish, and welcome to our Friday afternoon show. Before we get started, make sure to hit that like and, of course, subscribe to the channel as we continue to grow what we've started here and what you have helped start here by watching this channel. So I appreciate you for tuning in right now, whether that's over on Twitter or, of course, over on YouTube. If you want to be a part of the conversation, make sure you jump over to our YouTube channel and be subscribed to the channel. How's it going, D-Nice? Welcome in on this Friday afternoon. Buddy, as always, in the chat. Thank you guys so much for dropping by today. We're going to be covering the weekend recruiting of Colorado that's happening right now as we speak. Yet another big 2026 official visit weekend up in Boulder, Colorado, as 7 recruits will be visiting alongside 1 transfer portal player that we know of. Okay, we don't know if there's anybody else, but we have officially had confirmation that 7 players plus a portal player are visiting, including one of the top receivers in the entire 2026 class, 5-star player, alongside a number of other 4-star players and 1 3-star player. And then, of course, we have the starting left tackle from Maryland coming in on a visit as a player in the transfer portal. So we're going to go through all the different players that are going to be showing up, talking about them, taking a look at their tape, taking a look at what they could bring to Colorado. And again, we're going to talk about something we talked about last weekend, which is the fact that there is kind of a calculation on how these official visits go for Colorado, as they don't give official visits out to every single player that is possible to come and visit. Instead, they go after guys that they truly feel they have a shot at, whether that's through conversations with the player, and overall just relationship with them. So, welcome in, Jamal. Appreciate you dropping by again this weekend. Appreciate all of you guys for dropping by on this Friday afternoon. We're going to go about 45 minutes today as we talk about the 2026 class. Make sure to get your questions in about the players, questions about the team in general. We'll make sure to cover them throughout this 45-minute time. Cleveland Browns rookie cam had all CU fans in the chat today. Yeah, it's interesting to just see the difference in views and clicks when it comes to our CU football players. It is not even close to the same as any other rookie player out there, whether it's Jimmy Horn's footage, whether it is Shedeur's footage. And what's really interesting to me is just how much the Browns are leaning into this fact. Even though, if you look at their picks, you could say that Dillon Gabriel was their target, was their priority, was their better quarterback when it came to the actual draft picks. But we will see when everything is said and done. As far as I'm concerned, the Browns are going to look like idiots and savants all at the same time. Idiots for wasting a pick on Dillon Gabriel if you were just going to end up taking Shedeur Sanders in the first place. And trust me, even just a little bit that we've seen from practice today, especially in the 7-on-7 drills, Shedeur Sanders looked like he always does, extremely accurate, extremely pocket presence friendly, and just making all of the throws necessary for an NFL quarterback. Something that people, I think, during the draft process were kind of stupid towards. You know, the NFL is not about bombing every ball down the field. No, it's about the short to intermediate throws, which is where Shedeur excels more than anybody in the draft class, is his ability to put the ball on the money in tight windows in those short to intermediate throws. And that was on display today during the quick mini camp practice. As, by the way, Shedeur Sanders did not throw a single incompletion today. Dillon Gabriel did. Just going to throw that out there. Okay? Just going to throw that out there. Okay, so let's jump in more to the chat. Dillon Gabriel Munchkin next to Shedeur. Coach said they're very interested in Gabriel in today's interview. I'm sure they did. They're going to say all the right things for now and what's going on. So it's going to be interesting to see. That third round pick is dumber the more I look at it with the weeks past. It's going to be like if Shedeur succeeds, it's going to look, like I said, both dumb and smart. Smart that they got him in the 5th round. Dumb that they wasted a pick on another quarterback and didn't just take Shedeur Sanders. IMG linebacker might well not visit this weekend. Okay, we'll have to see what happens with that. Right now, Scott Proctor did put out a tweet today that he was visiting, so we'll have to go off that. Should it not have no drops? Dillon Gabriel had 2 incompletions. Timothy Isaac, all right, Russ. Shedeur looks so comfortable out there. 12 look better today. That boy ain't coming to play for Hart. Here we go again. 2 looking good today. Head coach never mentioned being interested in Shedeur in today's interview. They can keep saying whatever. It's gonna be crazy. He throws such a watchable ball. I mean, it's tight. His form just looks so nice. I mean, the ESPN guy that did the breakdown of practice, I was like, what video were you watching? It sounded like you were describing Shedeur, and then you said you're talking about Dillon Gabriel. Made no sense to me. No sense to me. 12 throws that very catchable ball. Absolutely. Can't critique a rookie minicamp. Let's see once training camp starts, then we'll see. Absolutely. But the Browns have the most players in rookie minicamp, so they're actually able to get together a little 7-on-7, and Shedeur was throwing the ball into some tight windows in 7-on-7 and making the right decisions. So there's that. I'm buying the number 2 and 21 Sanders jerseys regardless. Remember, Shiloh's wearing 28. Shiloh's wearing 28. ESPN Cleveland. Okay, so let's talk about who is expected to visit. Again, we're going off of the local media who are in the trenches, who are getting that information fed to them by the team. And that is, of course, Scott Proctor talking about who is going to be on a visit this weekend. So far, we already have confirmation of a couple of these players as they have tweeted out that they are there. The big one, and we'll start right off the top with them. The big one is one of the top receivers in the 2026 class, Shedeur Morgan, wide receiver, 6'4", 210 pounds out of Alabama, the number 1 player in the state of Alabama consensus, and a top 3 wide receiver in the class, 5-star composite, Shedeur Morgan. Morgan, of course, having offers from Bama, Auburn, Florida, Clemson, Georgia, but Colorado coming on in his recruitment on what they have been able to do. So something to pay attention to when it comes to Shedeur Morgan in this class. He is going to be one of the best wide receivers in this entire class when everything is said and done. So if Colorado can close that deal, wide receiver is not a problem, okay? Wide receiver is not a problem for Colorado in the sense that getting top wide receivers is not going to be a problem. We just had 4 wide receivers, okay? 4 wide receivers that have committed, that went in the draft, okay? The most wide receivers for any college football team to get drafted this year, and that was Colorado, okay? So Colorado getting, the 3 wide receivers, Travis Hunter, Jimmy Horn, and LeJontay Wester, the most out of any team in college football. That tells you a lot about what is going on. And I think, that's what's going to happen. Yes, I know. Will Sheppard is a free agent. Correct. He didn't get drafted. No news on why Will Sheppard failed his physical, but he is no longer with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers after he signed that undrafted free agent deal. Let's see what we got going on. No, never look smart. Their draft room looking happy to pick Shedeur. Not forgivable. Shedeur might be the first player since OBJ to make you want to buy a Browns jersey. I remember all the haters that said he can't play under center. 12 looked better under center and 7-on-7 and 11-on-11 than Dillon did. They can get Morgan, but CU has to throw the bag along with it for his services. They'll throw whatever bag is necessary if he wants to come. But what else we got? Will better get that resume out and go on the workforce. I mean, we'll see what's going to happen. Shedeur looked good today. Shedeur looked really good today, Rev. Shedeur looked really good, and he just looks comfortable, poised. He looks like, again, that confidence comes out. Everybody wants to say that confidence was a negative, but that's just hogwash. You want your quarterback to be confident. But yeah, looking at the tape, Shedeur Morgan, just a great all-around receiver. Absolutely would be an amazing get for Colorado. And remember, as I talked about, guys, so far in 3 years of Coach Prime in Colorado, when it comes to official visits, he is running at about a 50% clip. Even if we put it at a 40% clip today, we've got 7 players visiting Colorado this weekend. So if that's the case, if 7 players are visiting Colorado this weekend, then you have to think at a minimum 3 of these guys are going to commit to Colorado, okay? Unless last weekend is a 100% hit. If last weekend was a 100% hit, then yeah, this weekend's not as hard. But I'm just saying, with everything that's going on, that's what you've got to look at, okay? And Juju already gotten tagged by Shedeur Morgan. Shedeur Morgan saying, what's up to Juju? Julian Lewis has not really come into play when it comes to recruiting just yet. This 2026 class is going to be driven by your Julian Lewis, your offensive line, your playmakers. They're all going to be coming to Colorado because they want to play with Julian Lewis. Buddy, last weekend was the running back. So we had a 4-star running back come, KJ Edwards, to Colorado, and it's looking very good on the KJ Edwards front. Okay, it's looking very good on how that is going to go. Last weekend, 5-star said he out on CU. Y'all better look elsewhere for that left tackle. I mean, Jordan Seaton's here. The guy probably wants to come in and make an impact right away, and he's not going to do that at Colorado right away. What's up, Sunshine? Appreciate you dropping by today. Thank you so much for tuning in. We already know last weekend wasn't 100% because of Ojo. Exactly. Even if we're at 80%, you can still take off one guy from this visit. But the fact is, overall, during this season, the official visits that we have, which is about 19 players, we're going to end up at about 40 to 50% commit rate. Are these 26 recruits? Yes, all of them are going to be 26 recruits. So we got Shedeur Morgan. The next one up that I want to talk about, we're going to go ahead and look at him, this is one that I think is going to be a lock, guys. When I look at this one, I think this is a lock. Dorian Barney out of Carrollton High School, of course, Juju's teammate from the last couple of years, a guy that's been hard on Colorado's list for a couple years now, okay? Since Coach Prime showed up, Dorian Barney has been kind of a player to watch for. 4-star consensus player, the overall 18th and 15th cornerback in the class. If he has a good season, he could very well pop up to a 5-star if need be. But Dorian Barney, 6'1", 180 pounds, the prototype corner that Coach Prime loves to have on the team. I think this is one that is going to be an absolute lock for Colorado just because of what we've seen, the connection to Julian Lewis, the connection to the team overall, the visits, the contact he's been getting from the team. Dorian Barney is probably the biggest lock from this weekend, and he's finally taking his official visit this weekend. So Dorian Barney out of Carrollton, a player to watch for, just a good overall corner. And for those of you that remember, we watched Julian Lewis's playoff run this past playoff. Dorian Barney was another player that we watched contently. I liked what I saw from the games that I saw him being able to lock up players, do what he needed to do. Sure tackler, good coverage player. Obviously has some space to develop. He's not a 5-star right now for a reason, but we'll see what he does his senior year and what he's able to do at Carrollton this year. But that is one that I think is going to be a lock. And technically, T has it right here. They've been on him hard. Welcome in. Been on him very hard. And yeah, I think that he's going to be, out of all the people this weekend, I think he's a for sure lock. Right now, I think him and probably Deacon Schmidt are the two that are probably the most locked into Colorado out of the 26 class so far. The rest of them are going to take either the official visit or what happens during the season to really kind of push them over the finish line as far as that goes. Russ, any info on that Maryland starting? Oh, we're going to cover him, and you're not going to like him, TK. You're not going to like him. I said it on Twitter. I think he's more of a depth piece. The more I looked into him, the more I think he's just a depth piece. I think that right now, the player that we already got from Tennessee is a better piece at right tackle than Andre Roy is from Maryland. So that's what we're doing there. All we have to do is commit to running the ball, start off strong. These recruits will commit. D-Nice, you're exactly right. That's what they're looking for. These guys are just want to make sure that we've seen 2 seasons of Coach Prime in Colorado. We've seen that they haven't run the ball. Now we get to see, okay, was that because of Shedeur and Travis being on the roster? Or is that just the Colorado offense? At which point we're going to be hard to get top recruits to come commit to us when it comes to the running backs, when it comes to the offensive line. But again, you don't bring in Marshall Faulk. You don't bring in 3 different offensive line coaches. You don't go revamp your offensive line again with guys who are run-driven, by the way. Better run blockers than pass blockers. Not saying they're bad pass blockers. But the fact is, with all of that being said, it looks like they're going in that direction. The players just need a prove it. Thank you, Sunshine. Appreciate you. Juju will definitely help with the recruiting. 100% Juju is going to be helping with this recruiting. Deacon definitely needed. I think so too. I think College J goes to one of the Blue Bloods unless CU shows they can have an effective run game. Yeah, technically, T. Breck said he is waiting until October to commit. You can tell in everything that he's saying, he would love to commit to Colorado, but he wants assurances that they are going to run the ball and that the offense is going to show competence without a Shedeur and Travis there. Okay? Are they going to be able to compete? If we are a 7-win team, and we have 1,000 yards rushing, I think we get Breck. I think we get Deacon for sure. We might even get 1 or 2 more offensive linemen to commit, but that's going to show that a lot as we go forward. King John, appreciate you dropping by as always. Thank you so much. That's the issue. OC is a damn fossil when it comes to play calling. The funny thing is, don't give a damn. Again, I don't think it's Pat Shurmur because this was the same kind of offense that they ran at Jackson and even before that. Pat Shurmur, by the way, in the NFL ran a run-first offense. His normal play call styling is run-first. So I don't know where we get the whole fossil thing. More so that I just think part of it was the team we had and what we were trying to do. Oh, welcome in, Shirley, as always. Are we winning the Big 12 title this year? We'll see. We'll see. Do we have a chance to do it? Absolutely. Absolutely, we have a chance. Every team in the Big 12 lost a top running back. The quarterbacks are still going to be there. We'll have to see if they can adjust to be maybe more pass-friendly teams. We'll have to see if they have the running backs to fill those needs there. But overall, I like what we have on defense. We're going to live and breathe by our defense, but the difference maker is going to be, can the offense do what it needs to do this upcoming season? Appreciate Lady C for that. Click the like button, of course. Support this channel, everybody. Kid from Maryland's only depth. That's it. He won't touch the field. Exactly, Brandon. We'll talk about that here in a moment. I had somebody say he's not coming in to be depth, and I was like, we'll see about that. Run the ball. We get the people. It's as simple as that. Breck ain't coming in unless you. Yep, exactly. That's what I just said. Can't wait to see the salty one run this offense. This is the year where they prove it's possible. I sure want another running back, but I don't know if that's going to happen at this point. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get any more in the portal at this point. We got the one that we added, DeKalon Taylor, but I think it's going to be Micah and Dallin are going to be your 2-headed monster when it comes to the running game this upcoming year. And it's going to be more about, can the blockers get that open more? Can the running backs make a few plays? Can Micah stay healthy? All those things are great. We don't bring in Marshall Faulk not to run the ball. Exactly. When do players return to campus? I believe they return to campus in a week or two. I believe it's sometime in June. So 2 weeks. I always forget where we're at. I believe it's June where they're going to come up. Agreed. Even if the wins are ugly, as long as we show consistency and commitment to the run first, they will come. Last year's offense got Hunter the Heisman. Nothing else mattered. Can't blame the OC. See, he was pass happy because 2-12 is simple. People didn't understand that. They were not paying attention. Literally, Juju is literally 17 years old. He's going to need a run game to be successful in the beginning, so it makes sense that we will run the ball. Also, is Byron Leftwich still around? I don't know, but just so you know, the spring is a little bit different when it comes to the coaches. If you guys noticed, Sapp hasn't been around a ton this spring, okay? Let's see what happens this summer going into fall camp, whether or not Leftwich is back around, helping out, doing whatever. They never officially announced him as a coach or a title, okay? They just called him in that one meeting, Coach Leftwich. It may be similar to a Terrell Owens, just being around, helping out from time to time. We'll have to see. I'm going to wait until summer and fall camp opens. It's between the running backs and linebackers. Yep, that's going to determine a lot this year. I would agree with that. To live and breathe by the defense, you need to control the ball in that clock. The run game will be hybrid. And I said that to somebody. I don't remember if it was somebody who was a regular in the chat or not. So somebody on Twitter said this to me. They were like, hey, Colorado is not going to be able to win very much, even if they improve their run game. And I'm like, what do you mean? If we improve our run game, we will win more because the defense is going to be even more improved. And if you can run and control the clock, because I literally said, if they get 1,000 yards rushing, I guarantee we're a 9-win team. And the person said, oh, they'll get 1,000 yards rushing, but that won't help. And the passing game will be so bad, they're not going to win games. If you are controlling the line of scrimmage and you are controlling the time of possession, it's going to help the defense even more. And Colorado's going to win some close games. That's just the case. That's what's going to happen. Y'all need about 2 more running backs. Dallin and Mike are injury prone. We do have to replace Brandon Hood at this point as well, since we lost Isaiah and all that. People forget Pat Shurmur coached Percy Harvin when he was with Brett Favre, Minnesota Vikings. We have a lot of Percy Harvin type athletes on this team. I would look at that Vikings offense to take a little bit more cues this year for the team. The run game will be 65% this year. Remember, the quarterback will be one of the top rushing yards. And that's the other thing, Brandon. If Caden Salter is your starting quarterback, then yeah, we're running the ball 65% of the time. I mean, they've been running the option all spring. The read option was not the read option. It was just straight RPO that ended up a pass 90% of the time with Shedeur. We're actually running the ball with the quarterback out of a direct option, out of a true option play. Okay? Read option, who's going to take the ball? That's what we've been running in the offseason so far. I'm hearing they got a gold jack in the room, still can't get a decent running back in the portal. There's not a lot out there. You won't see coaches until summertime, honestly. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. The commits are waiting to see if they'll put their money where their mouth is with running the ball. So let's name all the running backs on the squad. Okay, you want to hear all the running backs in the squad? So we got DeKalon Taylor. He is the new running back in the squad. Let me pull it up real quick. I'll tell you. Spring Colorado football roster. We got Dallin. We got Micah. We've got DeKalon Taylor. What else do we got? I think that's it for the scholarship players. So I think we're at 3 scholarship running backs. So they might look to add one late. So we got Micah. We've got Titus Batista. He took snaps during the spring, if you don't remember that. He's like 4th string. Oh, and of course we've got everybody's favorite player, Charlie Offerdahl. So Charlie, we've got Batista, we've got Micah, we've got Dallin Hayden, and we've got DeKalon Taylor. I think it's going to be a 3-headed situation with Dallin, Micah, and DeKalon. That's where I think we're at. I always said these kids don't care about gold jackets, but the NIL messed all that up. Depending on Micah and Dallin Hayden as running back 1, we'll win more. That special teams will win us 1 or 2 games. We have better special teams this year, that's for sure. The commits believe if they don't, we don't need them. Russ, do you mean collectively 1,000 yards? Yeah. D-Nice, sorry. I meant collectively 1,000. Now, if we get a single 1,000-yard rusher, then absolutely we're a 9-win team. Absolutely we're a 9-win team. The money is tops of these young players' minds. Again, we get that. But Colorado's looking for a specific one. We've talked about that over and over. I love to see you be following the team all the way, but I just have to keep it real. The bag runs the show right now, and I can't contend with the money yet. Okay, technically they can contend with the money, technically, but again, Coach Prime just doesn't want to drop the bag for players. He legitimately does not. It's not a case of he wants to and he can't. It's a case of he doesn't want to. He does not want to pay for these players whose sole focus is how much you're going to give me. I'm going to the highest bidder. If you are going to the highest bidder, CU's gonna bow out. It's literally what I've heard directly from the team. It's literally what all of the media insiders have heard directly from the team. Colorado has the money. And again, I try and say this. We can contend with the money if we want to. We just paid our coach to be the 4th highest paid coach. If we did that, how are we doing that with the money? I ask that every time. Like, as soon as Coach Prime's extension came across the table, I said, okay, Colorado has money. Okay? Maybe they don't have Texas money, who's willing to throw $40 million to throw together a roster that doesn't win a national championship. Or Michigan, who's probably going to be in excess of $100 million for the roster, if we're going to be honest. If they don't win a championship, what does that say? Like, championships are technically not completely won just by the money. Throwing random money at random players, at every player that you could possibly think, is not necessarily a recipe yet for a national championship. You got to find the right players and then pay those players to keep them around. Now, my question to everybody is, okay, let's have an example. Isaiah Augustov. He leaves for a $500,000 bag, and I've heard several people being like, well, why didn't Colorado pay him? They should have paid. Like, does anybody think that Isaiah Augustov is a $500,000 running back on this team? Like, he would have made a difference, that it was worth putting $500 towards him? Or would that have been better to package together for somebody else who eventually wants to come, who might be better? But if we've already got that committed to one player, that's a little bit less. You only have so much. The fact is that we have money, okay? It's not an endless supply of money. We're not Michigan. We're not Texas A&M. We're not Texas, okay? But even some of the Blue Bloods have a specific budget that they're messing with when it comes to NIL and paying players. And it's why you don't see, I mean, let's be honest. Question, would you rather have more players added to the roster or a Bryce Underwood, more players added to the roster and Julian Lewis? Or would you have rather had just Bryce Underwood and paid $14, $15 million for his services? Because LSU walked back on that quick. They're not going to compete with that. If Bryce Underwood wants the bag, go for it, kid. Congratulations. Go to Michigan. Hope your career's great. But man, if that's your only focus, especially when he came out and said it wasn't about the money and then flipped it as soon as he got $14 million, that's kind of some crazy stuff happening right now in the college football world. Just saying. Cam and Miller can also run the ball, which is big upside. I forgot. That's right. Draylon will be running the ball. Cam will be running the ball as well. Great news for Shiloh, too. The 4 or 5 Huskers and the Bucks said they will have Shiloh's back. The Huskers are class. Keith Miller, wide receiver. Cam looked very green when it came to and I don't think it's going to be a full-time thing as well, technically, T. Charlie didn't graduate, D-Nice. He is still on the roster for one more year. He is technically has a year of eligibility left. I think Falk might want to run with a single back philosophy and go with the hot hand, and that could very well be true too, which makes sense that you don't have so many. I think because Seton has that locked down, so you might want to start somewhere right away, but it's honestly hard to really know why he dropped CU. Ojo. We were late on Ojo too. I was surprised for him to come. I want to say probably the reason he came was the IMG connection. I truly do think that the IMG coach and staff want to push players to Colorado. They kind of want to make that pipeline going. So you're going to see players like that show up that maybe we didn't expect to see. Players that maybe weren't on Colorado's radar that all of a sudden come on an official visit with the IMG coach. IMG's back in the house this weekend. We got 2 IMG players that are scheduled to come right now, including Ginevre, Carr, other offensive linemen, and then Duyan Forkpa. I'm going off Scott Proctor, what he said as far as the visitors go. He has not confirmed that Forkpa is not coming. He literally just tweeted that out today, I believe, or yesterday, that Forkpa was coming. And that's because they literally talked to Cliff Hill at IMG this past week in an interview, and he said he was coming back with more players this weekend and probably talked to them about that. So here's the thing that concerns me is why didn't portal running backs commit? Commercial Falk really recruit? I don't know. I'm just speculating and asking questions. No, I get that. We could also say, because there was, 2 running backs that Colorado showed interest in that didn't commit. The rest of them, who knows? Marshall Faulk might be looking for something very specific. And again, when looking at the team, even with Marshall Faulk, it might need a season to show that we're going to commit to the run. It just might. That might be where it's at. They don't have the funds to keep up with Texas, Ohio State. Texas, no. Ohio State, I think you'd be surprised. Day and Ohio State aren't throwing around the money as much as you think they are. They're going off of their reputation, which is fine. They absolutely deserve it. You know, that's where it's at. Oh, yeah, for sure. I know Prime isn't paying these boys like that, and I understand the philosophy, but he is going to lose on a ton of players. And he is. We got to be okay with that. We got to be okay with that. Texas paying $40 million is so insane for a roster. Average home is Boulder is $1 million. CU has money. And CU is increasing that budget each and every year. Trust me. The boosters and the alumni, they're getting more and more bought into this. And now that Prime signed that contract, trust me, the money is starting to pour in even more. The money is there for the kids that we want. If we didn't throw the bag on a kid, then we don't value those kids as such. Overpaying is nasty. Yeah, I think technically you get it. You get it. I absolutely understand that, and you do. Putting Bot at running back. Look at Oregon, Georgia, Alabama, Penn State, Texas. Correct, Northside. They are throwing the bags around each and every year, and they don't have as much to show for it. I mean, Georgia does. Bama does, but let's be honest. I think Bama was more Saban. Even Saban doesn't like the money being thrown around. Texas not winning. Penn State's throwing the money around like crazy. They're competing. They're not winning. Only one team wins. And the question is it worth it every year? Let's be happy with the current NIL. If it was the old way, nobody would come to Colorado. You're not lying there. Ojo was just curious what was happening here. I think it was too, and I think his coach kind of talked him into it, saying, hey, go check it out. Make sure it's, check it off your list. I think Cliff Hill is really pushing some players our way. Will Shepard, yeah, we already went over that at the beginning of the show. Larry Johnsons are actually good, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. I'll level up when the Super League happens. Top 40 most winning teams of all times will always be on top, except years of coaching changes. Only 40 universities can keep pace. Mike, it's changing a little bit. I mean, you're going to ignore Indiana now all of a sudden becoming a football power thanks to some good moves. I think NIL has even the playing field just a little bit more. I think it really has. I think the old Blue Bloods were always paying their players, and other teams couldn't compete. Now that it's a little more public, while those Blue Bloods are throwing the money around like crazy, I think it's less of a factor because of the fact that kids can make money going anywhere. I think that's where it is. If CU wins a natty in the next couple of years, it's going to change how NIL is looked at. Them, Indiana, Cam, not just Colorado, though. I mean, I would be rooting for any of the non-blue blood teams. If Indiana is somehow able to compete for a national championship, if some of those teams that are not always competing are all of a sudden in the conversation, we're going to see it look very different. I think the offensive tackle Cantwell Miami offer probably affected the Ojo recruiting. Trust the money coming. You heard what Travis and Two said. They're going to ensure they got money to spend. They're going to add more money to it. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't think Prime cries about anything, but I like the fact that we are getting coach only and not the dad out there. I love it. I love it, Tech. That's what I'm loving about this season. That's what I'm most looking forward to this year. I'm looking forward to see what Coach Prime as a coach is like post-dad. Okay? I really do. I really do want to see. Thoughts about any of the kids who graduated this week will transfer Oklahoma. I mean, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Okay, there's more players coming, by the way. Let's go through those real quick. Donovan Webb, safety athlete, 6 foot, 182 out of Texas. He's coming to Boulder this weekend on a visit. 4-star composite, 3-star on the 24/7. Top 30 safety nationally, not bad. And he has Michigan, Ohio State, TCU, Baylor, Texas Tech as offers. Something you got to look at, too, is the roster outlook, okay? Colorado is thin at safety. If he wants to come and have a chance to compete right away, Colorado's going to give him a better chance than a Michigan, okay? Ohio State might be a good option for him. Texas Tech's got 12 on the roster plus 3 commits, so they're loading up. So something to look at there with Donovan Webb. I like what I see with him. I could see him being a potential as one of the gets. Dorian Barney, Webb could be the guys to come. I'll tell you who else. Okay, we've also got Ganivre, Carr out of IMG, of course, inside O-line guard, 6'4", 336, 3-star composite, top 40 player at that inside spot. That left guard spot is going to be open. Does he want to come in and potentially compete right away? Being an IMG kid, the kid is going to be ready to play football pretty quickly. He's also being offered by Tennessee, Florida, South Carolina, Georgia, Miami. He was crystal balled at one point a month ago to Tennessee. Have not seen any updates on that. Colorado will be his first official visit, while Tennessee is actually his last official visit. He's going to Florida next week, Miami, Georgia, and Tennessee coming up. Sorry, Florida in 2 weeks. So something to keep an eye on. He's a last minute. He feels like an Ojo, so I could see him not being high on Colorado's list and not probably committing. I think it's a long shot for Carr. Jordan Deck is another one that I think is another one to look at high on the list. Okay, Donovan Webb is an athlete. Jordan Deck is a safety, 6'1.5", 190 out of Frisco, Texas as well. He is a 4-star. He's been tweeting a lot about Colorado. His list looks a little bit different than the other guys. We've got Baylor, Ole Miss, Penn State, Michigan, UCLA. Again, going on his official visits right now. This weekend, Colorado, UCLA. Next weekend, then Michigan, Penn State, Ole Miss, and Baylor to end it out. You can look at what the roster spots are looking. Okay, Ole Miss and Michigan have a lot of safeties. UCLA could make sense for him, similar to Colorado. My guess is, depends on what position these two want to play. Okay, if they both want to truly play safety, I don't think we get both of them, but who knows? We'll have to see what happens. Then we've got Julius Miles, tight end out of Florida, 6'6", 210 pounds, Florida State, Louisville, Vanderbilt, Syracuse, and Colorado. Looks like Colorado will also be his first visit as well. So another player to look out for this weekend. And then the last one, again, I'm going off the confirmation from Scott Proctor. Until he doesn't show up, he doesn't show up. We'll see what happens with what's going on. Okay, so here's what we've got going on. Deion Forkput Jr., linebacker out of IMG, 6'225", 4-star composite, top 16 linebacker in the class. Okay, top 20 for 24/7 Sports would be an absolute get for Colorado. And for those of you that are going to bring up the heart stuff and he can't, get high school linebackers, I mean, he did get Mantrez Walker. So maybe he didn't get the top linebacker in NOB, who, by the way, looking at that roster for the team that he's on, I could see him hit the portal next year. I could see him still end up at Colorado, if I'm being completely honest. I was shocked that he went there. He went to Michigan, right? Their linebacker room is quite big. 11 linebackers right now in the Michigan room. He would have come here and potentially had a chance to start. I mean, if he came in with the right body type and worked his butt off, he could have started his freshman year. It's going to be a little bit before NOB sees the field at Michigan. And then I want to talk about, of course, Andre Roy. Andre Roy, offensive tackle from Maryland, was the starting tackle at Maryland. He's coming in for a visit out of the transfer portal as a graduate visitor. Here's what we're going on here, guys. I said as soon as I saw him, I was like, great. He's going to be depth, okay? I like Larry Johnson better. Here's what I'm going to show you guys. Here are Andre Roy's grades. It's not good. It's not good, guys, okay? He didn't get a ton of snaps. Towards the end of the season, he was pretty much benched, it looked like. Unless he got injured, I'd have to look into that. But his snaps just dropped off once he got to Minnesota, Penn State. You can see here, he stopped starting, may have gotten injured. That could have been it too. It's not great, guys. Like, he had a good freshman year where he had only 27 snaps total and graded out well, but a 15 pass block. Okay? I don't care who you are. He's not coming in to start. And I want to show you guys real quick. Let's show you what Larry Johnson's, just to remind you and show you kind of the difference here, okay? Larry Johnson, tackle out of Tennessee, okay? Better overall grades. Younger player overall as well. 6'7", 348, 6'6", 294. So Larry Johnson, a much bigger boy as well. Has got some more eligibility. Still a young player overall. I mean, he was playing in the SEC, okay? Oklahoma actually graded out quite well, which is saying a lot to say in the game against Oklahoma. So I think Larry Johnson is going to be your starting right tackle. Okay, I really, really do. Brandon's got it here. I'm a Maryland fan. That would only be depth. There's a reason. He started at tackle, did not finish. So there's where we at. We chasing after this guy. Why depth? Depth, SN Services. We have a lot of roster spots open, guys. We have a lot of roster spots open that we still need to fill with portal guys. The portal's not done for us, okay? The guys are graduating these next couple of weeks. There's going to be more graduate portal players. We are going to need those to fill out the roster and fill out this depth that we have, okay? That's why all their top running backs left and hit the transfer portal. Okay, so Maryland got it, okay? Got it. You guys, I'm telling you, the grades are really bad, okay? Whether or not the tape shows any difference, you don't get grades that bad for any particular reason, okay? Didn't Saban show up in a helicopter to recruits high school? Saban knew what it was. Hey, and, getting to speak for over an hour with Coach Prime, even if it is via, FaceTime, that's a pretty special moment as well, King John. And Dorian Barney got that attention. So like I said, that's why I think Dorian Barney is for sure a commit to Colorado. Okay, guys, looking at the time, we're at 4:20. I need to go here in just a second. Appreciate you guys so much. The Northern Bama linebacker, that's another one to pay attention to as well. Is he coming in this weekend? I think he's coming in this weekend. But that's something to pay attention to as well. CU is under 75 scholarships. That's pathetic for a Power 4 team. Yeah, we got to add more. We're going to add more. We got space. Respect Coach Prime, but man, got to chill with the no money talk. Didn't he go to the Cowboys for the bag? These kids know and think a lot more than these coaches think. I know it was the pros, but a little different. I wouldn't touch anything except the tight end from Maryland. Hey, Russ, what's up? Do you know how many scholarships we have left for this season? How many linebackers we have on a roster? Yeah, we just talked about that. Don't Give a Damn has it. We're under 75, guys, and we can go up to 82, I believe. So we've got players to add. We're not even close to that. That Maryland offensive tackle is big. I love it, guys. Cleveland knows who quarterback one is. Appreciate you, Eric. Okay, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm going to head out for the day. Make sure to hit that like on the way out. Of course, be subscribed to the channel. Thank you guys so much for all of the support that you do. Let's see how this weekend goes. We'll come back on Monday unless there's some breaking news over the weekend with a commit or anything like that. Like I told you guys, I'm right now in the middle of packing and getting ready for the move back to Colorado. So things are going to look a little bit different over the next few weeks. Probably not as many streams, probably more like Monday, Friday for sure. And then anytime there is breaking news in between. So keep an eye on that. Make sure that you guys are subscribed, have that bell notification turned on so you can be part of this live show in the chat. I always like to talk to you guys. So keep an eye on that. So until next time, for Buffs News Weekly Live, I'm Russ Dornish. Go Buffs!